Anyway, so about 5 days after my appointment with my obstetrician, I'd started, I still was having the spotting, but it was very faint. And then on the 5th day after my appointment with the obstetrician, I had really heavy bleeding. Like, I had to change a maternity pad every half an hour. And that lasted for about 36 hours, the heavy bleeding. And I think for me, the main symptom of, I know that was the miscarriage now, the main symptom of my miscarriage was I was having intense migraines, like really bad. I've never experienced them before. And I definitely had cramping and intense cramping, but for me, the migraines were far worse. And I just felt like my whole body was like going through it. And on top of that, I was emotional and just stressed, and I just felt like moody and just, I don't know, just so, I just felt all my thoughts were really confused. And I think because, still up until that point, I still felt pregnant, and anyway, so the heavy bleeding lasted about 36 hours. Then after that, it dropped right back down to only very faint spotting again, like I'd had before. And I was a bit concerned because I thought, well, I had read that normally the heavy bleeding can last, it would last more than 36 hours, like, even 4 days or weeks even, and I was just a bit worried about it. And so I called my obstetrician, and she was then worried, and she said, look, it might not all be coming away properly. And I was just like, oh my gosh, we'd already gone through all the waiting of the miscarriage to start, and I was thinking, what if it hasn't happened? I'm still going to have to have a D&C, or I don't know. I just didn't know what was going to happen. I was thinking it's just waiting, more waiting. So I had to wait a couple of days and to go in and see her for a final ultrasound. And I'm so grateful Bill came with me to that as well. And that confirmed that everything had passed, and the baby had passed, and we had lost the baby. And it was really hard to go to that appointment because I felt like part of me wanted to go to know that, everything had happened the way it was supposed to. But another part of me really didn't want to go because it made everything final. And it sort of felt like going to that appointment meant that, we were never pregnant, it never happened. So it was really hard to go to that appointment, but I know that it was the right thing to do. So I'm glad that we found out that, everything had passed and happened the way it was supposed to naturally. And Helen said, my obstetrician said that it will give you some closure, knowing, otherwise you just won't know. And and I guess so, I can't really see it like that, but I guess so. And then since then, we just have been going along with our lives. And I said to Bill the other day that I feel like he's had to go straight back to work, and I feel really sorry for him because, I'm obviously at home with April, so it's a lot easier to sort of go through everything, emotionally and think about everything. But he had pretty much had to go straight back to work, and he was, I think because he was so confident about everything, it was such a shock, and he was just so upset inside and confused, and and we just kept saying to ourselves, why ask why, and obviously you don't know why. And I think that's the hardest thing, is you don't have any answers, and you don't know the reasons behind anything, and you don't know why it happened at that time, and then it's also the why of the when, of like, well, when will it happen, and when is it going to happen, when is it meant to happen? But we just don't know those answers, do we? So I felt really sorry for him. He had to go straight back to work, and I said to him the other day that, I sort of felt like life had just moved on. So I just really felt for Bill, and I feel for Bill, that he had to go straight back to work. And he said that that was his way of sort of dealing with it, was sort of trying to just get on with things, and trying to keep himself busy. And he is really busy at work, and I know it's really hard to sort of take the chance to stop and think about everything. But I just just really feel for him because, you know, I'm so grateful that I have, you know, I have the opportunity during the day and time to be able to talk to people and everything like that. But anyway, he caught up with his cousin who recently found out they were pregnant. He caught up with him because they had some trouble trying to conceive and had sort of been through a couple of chemical pregnancies and things, and it was good for him to talk to someone just about everything, and I think just get all his feelings off his chest and everything, because obviously Bill and I talk to each other all the time about everything, but I think it was good, you know, a friend to talk to a friend about it, you know, and be able to share what had happened with someone else other than ourselves or like our immediate family. I think that was good and really helped him, and it definitely has helped me talking to people, and I think I've only told 3 people, you know, that aren't in my immediate family, but it's really helped me process it. And I know, you know, I know that there are so many women out there, women and men, husbands, wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, everyone, families out there that go through a lot worse things, a lot more worse things, I can't think of the right words, a lot tougher things they go through, and, you know, I really, really feel for all of you. And I know that what we went through was just a small amount probably of what some people go through, and so I really feel for you. And, you know, it's so hard, you know, and I think, you know, I was 9.5 weeks and we were sort of getting, you know, towards the end of the first trimester, you know, we were about to tell other people, you know, outside of our immediate family, and to think we were nearly at that point is just, can't believe it. So, but I really, really feel for everyone out there who's having trouble trying to conceive or has been through a miscarriage, experienced a miscarriage, experienced any loss, and I believe that any loss is a loss. Dr. Zeus, I think it is, has a quote, or he, you know, has this quote, and it's that every person is a person, no matter how small or how big. And I think that is so true. We will always remember this pregnancy, and it will always be in our thoughts and in our hearts, and we will never forget it. And I know that this wasn't meant to be, and we, you know, were helping our baby get to where it was meant to be and where it was meant to go, and we just weren't meant to spend time with it here, and we will get to one day. And I know that when it's meant to happen, it will happen, and, you know, it will happen. I'm just so grateful, and so grateful. We are so lucky, and we are so blessed to have April, and she is the love and light of our lives, and I couldn't imagine going through this or going through life without her, and I couldn't imagine going through life without my husband. You know, Bill has just been amazing and has been so supportive and loving and caring and just phenomenal, and we both said to each other that we couldn't imagine going through anything like this with anyone else in this world. And I know that, you know, it's going to make us stronger, and it has made us stronger, but it's still early days, you know. So, but we're just trying now to try and think positively and stay positive and spend lots of quality time together as a family and with our family, and just try and get through each day and move through life and continue on. And we have decided that, we have to try to somehow move on, one step at a time, and we will go from there, and we'll see where it takes us and where our journey takes us and what's in store for us in the future. That is our miscarriage story. Just even saying it out loud, it's just, just makes it so official and so final and everything, thinking about it, and talking about it. I just wanted to say to our baby who's up in heaven that we love you. We will never stop loving you. We will never stop thinking about you. We will never forget you. And we can't wait till the day that we get to meet you.